call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action now. Winston. There's Chris Olave. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Receiver factor at Ohio State turned out an NFL-ready deep threat this year in Olave, who New Orleans jumped up to get at number 11. The Saints learned last year they need another defense breaker in their receiver room to allow a little bit of space to throw underneath. Sub 4.4 speed and a history of turning deep routes into touchdowns made Chris Olave their guy, and he gets them the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49. The Saints had 2 and 2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Jameis to throw it. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17. Charles, that's a route that you and I have seen time and time again in our years up in this booth, and that executed well and a great throw, too.
And sometimes, even if you know it's coming, the execution will trump whatever you do on the defensive side of the ball. Plus, it was a well-thrown football. A nice, healthy gain right there.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Winston. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. That early game script that they drew up is working pretty well here on this first drive. Already in field goal range, Charles knocking on the door of the red zone.
You know, Brandon, when we met with the coaching staff, they kind of predicted that they would come out firing like this. I think you and I were a little skeptical it would be this easy, but they certainly knew what they were doing in scouting, in preparation, and understanding what their team was capable of.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And I think our statistician, we ended up having to bring the blue tent and put it around him for a while because he was developing a hand injury and had to write down all the turnovers his team forced. 5, 6, 7, 8. Absolutely unbelievable. I hope he'll recover.
Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Try to pound it in. Kamara. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
2nd down and goal. Winston. That's out to Hill. Right side complete. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Seahawks are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. On 1st down, Smith. Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. Finding space at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll fake it. Now Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Touchdown, Seahawks. Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are. This team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Winston to give. It's Kamara. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On play action, Winston. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Catch is made by Metcalf. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 39 yards there, a big one.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Demario Davis coming in for the sack that time.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's got his tight end fan. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Noah Fant, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Myers connects on the PAT, and it's now 14-0.
14, Saints nothing. Michael Dixon, the kickoff.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They go play action. Winston. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the break, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me.
The throw for Claypool is intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, They're still not in field goal range yet, so they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
From the gun, Winston. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Play action. It's Smith. The throw for Claypool is intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Boy, that's the kind of interception that can save a game right there. They're already down 2 scores. Huge play, slowing down what was going against them.
I was thinking the same thing. You get down 3 scores there at this stage, could be in for a long ball game. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. A first down throw for Winston. Throw left side complete. That's Johnson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. From just shy of midfield, Winston. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Off the play fake, Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Jalen Johnson. And the Seahawks are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you throw this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Let's go. 18 Radley. 18 Radley.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf in the final seconds of the first half. And the Seahawks will extend their lead here just before halftime. Now Myers for the extra point. And it is now 21-0.
Makes the score Seahawks 21, Saints nothing. Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. from the 10. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Third quarter begins with a run by Walker. Up to the 20.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. That's their first right there.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. On the counter, it's Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but eventually they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. From the gun, here's Smith. Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. And pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. play fake. Winston. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Up the middle, here's Walker. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Straight ahead, Walker. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. Smith. Trying to lay one up deep. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a fourth pick of the ball game.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Now to the ground, here's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Demario Davis there on the stop. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Sticking with Walker on second down. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Now Geno. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. A sizable 16-yard chunk there. The drive continues. So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 35-yard line. A give for Walker running right. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 65 yards on the ground for him so far.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Being chased out left. And he'll just get rid of it. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's second and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Able to get away. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's third and long. On third down, here's Walker. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. Myers' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. And it's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the results.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Play action now, Winston. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Josh Jones. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
It only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You called that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
On 3rd down, Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Uchenna Nwosu, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Here comes the Saints punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It's been a dominant performance to this point, Charles, and this is probably exactly how they scripted this and envisioned it. They got a 3-score lead, 4th quarter, and a chance if they want to continue to pour it on here.
It is their call, isn't it? I mean, the way that they have taken on this game and the way that they have carried this game and have dominated this game, you're exactly right. Do what you want down the stretch. We are in the era of, hey, if you don't want us to do this to you, then you need to stop us. Their call to finish this one off.
A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the 4th quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
98 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now, Smith. And it's intercepted at the goal line. picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to get the football back at their own 17. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go. That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That's his way of putting it behind them.
And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Open man is Michael Thomas. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Jameis to throw it. And my goodness, another interception. Tariq Woolen picks it. And the Seahawks are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
23 yards the pickup there.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even into the 4th quarter.
Smith going to throw it. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is